Hi, I'm Darkshox, and I want to give you a movement tutorial for Phantasmagoria 1. You'd be surprised how many point-and-click speedruns have different input strategies, as you think it's all in the name point-and-click. This one is no exception. The routing follows the tutorial from Residwaka and the run from Pazuzu on speedrun.com, shoutouts to both of them. This video is going to be on the movement itself and the notation I'm using. It's accompanied by an Excel sheet that contains the movements per chapter. Almost all of the examples will be visible in chapter 1, so I'll go through my notation of chapter 1 together with what they mean. I'm using ScumVM version 2.7.0 on the GOG version. By the time this video is released, the most recent daily build will have a fix for the save game issue, so I'll not get into that today. I might address it in the comments. There are 4 possible inputs, of which we're using 3. The escape key, the enter key, the left mouse button, and the right mouse button. Left and right mouse button do the exact same thing. So you could, in theory, like gallop like in Riven, or with 2 doubled inputs, like this. The problem is, if you hit both of them at the same time, they count as 1 input on the same frame. And so if you're trying to be consistent with the number of clicks, that's not going to work. So that's why we're using the left mouse button for now. Additionally, you want to add a split key. I use this button on my mouse for splitting. Now, the enter key is for advancing the dialog box between 2 chapters, to advance to the next chapter. The escape key is for skipping cutscenes, so actually filmed cutscenes. But can also be used for cutscenes, for inputs in cutscenes in the last chapter. I'll highlight this at the end of the video. For everything else, we use left mouse button. So, we start a new game. The timing of the speedrun starts on the first frame a new button is pressed. And a button only does something after releasing pressing. So when you click this chapter 1 button is the one. The moment you press down, it counts as the run started, but it will only start the game after you let go of the button. So don't spend too much time like holding the button down. That's the weird thing to say. Alright, so you then need to hit escape because it immediately starts with a cutscene. Hey, Crow. However, you can't hit escape too early because otherwise it'll send... Thanks, Crow. Wait, you can select the chapters by hitting the buttons? Okay, cool. Right, that's funny. Let's try that again. Right. Okay. Okay. So if you click and then immediately hit escape, you jump back into this menu, which you don't want. New tech, yeah, that's okay. So we now know that the number keys actually do something. Wait, that means you can. Ooh, but I wouldn't recommend that. You can start the game by hitting 1. That's interesting, right? Anyway, that is possible. So immediately hit escape, and your cursor snaps down to this exit button, which is usually the skip button. And so you can hit escape and then immediately double click here. Now, because Adrian was stuck in a cutscene, I had to triple click there. But usually, let me just show it. Usually when you start a new game, 1, escape, double click, right? So that works. And this follows my input table here. You hit escape once and click the exit button twice. The next input would be to click on the drawer 3 times. So once to select it and 2 more skips down here is just 1, 2, 3 clicks. Don't click a 4th time because otherwise you'll exit it. And then on the matches 1, 2, 3. Whenever you pick up an item, it will be stored automatically and snap in the inventory. And it goes by priority based on whether the slots are occupied or not, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if these 3 are occupied and you pick up a new item like the letter opener, it will slide into this slot, which is very important. Yeah, I can't even film a video without discovering new stuff. All right. So since the most the most frequent pattern will be 3 clicks in my spreadsheet, that's highlighted in dark gray when it's 3 clicks. Now, when you click somewhere, the input column either shows which button to press or where to click on screen. And up, down, left, right will be arrows or either aligned arrows or diagonal arrows. So in this case, down 3 times is 1, 2, 3, and up, left here. Now, whenever you change a scene or click interact with anything, after the first click, usually the mouse will snap to the skip button. And then after doing all of the skips, the mouse will either stay on the skip button or it will move back to the position it was, based on what it was. So it is consistent for every position, but what it actually is influencing it, we don't know. But it's always consistent. So if I go 1, 2, 3 here, the mouse will stay down here. But if I go 1, 2, 3 in here, the mouse will stay in the top left corner here. Now, since after that we want to go here, that might not be what you want. So you can force the mouse, or the cursor, to remain down here by moving it slightly over before doing the skips. So if I click move and skip 2 times, the cursor stays down here. If I don't do that, the cursor goes up here. And if I click, move, and click twice, the cursor stays down here. Now, it's not super important for this particular frame, but it will be important later. It can save a lot of time. So you go to the poker with 1, 2, 3. You pick the poker up with 1, 2. It immediately slides into slot number 2. And then you go 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. You can spam click here if you like. 1, 2 on the lamp. 1, 2 on the carpet. Now, pick up the poker, click twice on the trapdoor, and empty, so you need to put the poker manually back into the inventory. When you pick an item up, it will slide in on its own. If you use something, 1, 2, you have to put it back yourself. Then, go down, go back up, use the matches, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that's here. So, where is it? Down, left, matches 1, 2, 3, 4. Then pick up the hammer. 1, 2. Up 1, 2, 3. Up, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Down, right 1, 2, 3. You have to click on this door twice because Adrian has to know that any door in the house is locked so that she can tell the realtor that there is a key missing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then on the car, which you can just spam 5 times. Now, upright. And now the realtor door. This is actually important. So if you just spam click here, it will click once for here, snap onto the skip button, and then go back here. But you immediately want to continue spamming, skipping. So you click, move, and then spam click to enter the door. 3 times on the realtor, twice on the cupboard, and back out. We've got the key, and then 5 clicks to get out. So if you go in and just spam click, you can't continue because the hand is now stuck here and you have to manually move down. But instead, what you want to do is click, move, and then spam click. Right, 5 clicks to go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down right, and then to the car. Now going back with the car is a bit weird because you have to click and it doesn't snap to the skip button. So you click, move yourself, and then spam down here. Right, then up through the door. When you enter the door, it's usually 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Down right, I believe. Yeah. Upright, use the key, and afterwards empty, so you have to put the key back in the inventory. And at this point, it's important because the next item you want to pick up, you want it to be placed here. It could also be placed here, but since, yeah, for super minor reasons, you want the key to be put back here. So, click 1, 2, 3, and then put the key back. Then, down twice, to the desk 3 times, click on the opener twice, click, and the opener is now here. Click up twice, and now there's this specific area, and we want to do 3 clicks, 1 forced move, and then another click in this area. So it has to be either on this red piece of the curtain or this gray piece of the fireplace. So in this area, further to the left or further to the right, it won't work. So 1, 2, 3, right, and then 1. Then the cursor's on the skip button, and you pick up the letter opener, put it on the eye, press this tiny button,
to letter opener.
Close, click here, and skip with escape. And now we're here. And right 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2, 3, click, skip, enter, split. And that's how that works. Now there's one more thing, which is in chapter 7. So let me just open a game in chapter 7. In the final cutscene, in the showdown, in the final showdown, there's a lot of cutscenes that are interactable because it's all quick time events. Not this one, because this is still FMV overlaid on a static image. And then we get the book, and then we get cutscenes that are interactable. In those, when you hit escape, you will skip the cutscene, but if you can click something in a cutscene, then it will immediately click on that as well. Which in this case will happen if you are right here. So if you hit escape here, you click on that, which you don't want. Now this might get fixed in a future version of ScumVM, it might not. However, you have to be very careful in the last chapter when you hit escape to skip these cutscenes. And right, as you can probably guess, this leads to a bad ending, and I will leave you with this wonderful image of Adrian's head split in half. Thank you for watching. Leave some, if you have some comments, ask them somewhere. Bye.